Lots of divas, all the right people were on the mic tonight, and I'm already excited about SummerSlam. Was Raw a good show? Yeah, Raw was a pretty fucking good show. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check with your post-Battleground Raw review. Couple things to talk about. You know, Undertaker coming in and fucking up Brock Lesnar's plans. Cena won his match against Owens, so it's the end of the world, right? Right? No. For my thoughts on the Cena-Owens thing, just go listen to any good mic work review of pretty much anything. And I'm not saying that to kiss his ass, but like, I am, like I said before, guys, and I'm not going to dwell too much on this because it's a Raw review and it's not talking about Battleground, but maybe more than some of you, I get the Cena thing. I do. Keep in mind, and I know I say this a lot, I'm the guy that did Cena Apocalypse, the top 50 reasons why John Cena is killing professional wrestling. It's still in my 5 most popular videos on this channel. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But Cena isn't the Cena that I made that video on a while ago. Yeah, does he still have his problems? Obviously. Is he still a character that makes you roll your eyes when he comes out there and toots his own horn and he's, you know, too good to be true as far as all that goes? Yeah, but at the same time, behind the scenes, he's making everybody look good. He's having great matches. He's making himself look better. He's making his opponents look better. He's making the U.S. title, which, let's be real, was wallowing in obscurity before WrestleMania, one of the most prominent titles on the show. So, is Cena going to falter, or is Owens going to falter? No. Do I like the fact that Cena kept the title? Maybe not necessarily, but you know, the thing is, it is what it is. What's the other thing I was going to say about Battleground? Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. I was looking forward to it anyway. It did better than I even thought it was going to, and it's got me intrigued for what's going on going forward. And I have a very interesting thought about that became blatantly obvious to everybody else as you were watching Raw, and especially if you were tweeting along with me. But the only way we could start off Raw tonight is how we did start off Raw tonight. No Cena, no Rollins, no Authority, no, I would have been okay if we started with the Divas, because considering everything that's going on there. But no, we started off with the fucking Undertaker, who was full demon mode with the voice and all that sort of thing. He gave a really good promo. It wasn't interrupted. We didn't have any conflict right at this moment, but it was a good little thing. As soon as Taker comes to the ring, I think the cameraman had orders to find every Rest in Peace Lesnar sign that was in the crowd. Comes out, he basically says everything that we want Undertaker. Undertaker is a cliche machine. Let's be real for a second. If you tried to explain to a non-wrestling fan what the Undertaker is, in fact, thinking on the fly, put it down in the box below. This is my challenge to you guys. If you were talking to somebody who had never seen a scrap of wrestling in their life, if they didn't get it, if they'd never seen it, if they'd never even heard anything about wrestling, and they asked you, what is The Undertaker? What would you tell them? Put it down in the box below. This will be a cool little thing. But Taker comes out, and he's got some expected cliches, and he hits pretty much all of them. He reminds Brock Lesnar that he's a relentless, remorseless, cold-blooded Grim Reaper. He says he knows that streaks were made to be broken, but Lesnar made the mistake, and Heyman made the mistake of reminding us day after day, after week after week, after month, my client Brock Lesnar conquered The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, and now he's come back to say enough. 15 months later, kind of an odd time to have it, except, oh, look at the calendar, SummerSlam is coming. You've taken the smoldering ashes and made them into a towering inferno. Last night was my resurrection, and I'm here to remind you that you can't kill what won't die. I'm here to challenge your immortality. I will conquer what has yet to be conquered, and you will, of course, rest in peace. In the back, we see that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are grinning ear to ear, and they are playing the financial line. And this isn't even them being heels, really, and I like this. This is just a genuine, like, they are in the back marking out, because we're going to make money at SummerSlam now. This is our main event. Taker, Lesnar, but we have to make sure that they don't touch each other tonight. He calls Heyman, He says, Heyman, Lesnar's not to be there tonight. They cannot have Taker and Lesnar under the same roof because it's going to be destroyed, and their main event that they just made up on the fly is going to be destroyed, and all that sort of thing. Commentators announced that our main event tonight is going to be Orton, Cena, and Cesaro versus Rusev, Sheamus, and Kevin Owens. So yes, Kevin Owens, who's supposedly buried by John Cena, is still in the main event of Raw. So let me know how that one works. Sorry guys, my computer's doing a thing, and I have to fix the thing. This is a thing, and this is a thing, and this is a thing. There we go. Charlotte versus Brie Bella is the first match on the show. And of course, Charlotte's out there with Team Paige, Brie Bella's out there with Team Bella, and Team Bad is on commentary. Because reasons. Somebody on commentary calls Tamina Tina during this, and then all the announcers get threatened, and that's just lovely, because Naomi really doesn't need to be there, because Naomi's no longer relevant. Oh yes. Collar and elbow tie-up ends us up in a Brie headlock. Charlotte hits a slam, which Brie counters into a snapmare and a headlock again, because she's a heel, and she's nice. In case you forget, here's my headlock to remind you that I'm a heel. It's nice. Shoulder by Brie and slaps shoulder by Charlotte. Charlotte dives onto the outside and misses, which is kind of messy looking. Commercial break. When we come back, there's an armbar / chokehold by Brie Bella on Charlotte. And then we get, oh yes, I was saying it on Twitter last night for Battleground, and I will say it here tonight. I haven't had a chance to say it for a long time because we haven't seen the Super Goat in quite a while, but his wife, Brie Bella, brings it back old school with the say it loud and say it proud, the Daniel Bryan silly kicks. Oh yes, drop kick by Brie and some stomps. Charlotte rushes Brie into the corner, sort of back first, because Brie's on her back. She sort of backs her into the corner. It was good. It's one of those that you guys know me. I don't know what to call half the shit. I just call it like I see it. Top rope missile drop kick by Brie Bella, showing that these new girls are not entirely going to steal the Bella's spot. I like that. It's good. Headlock by Brie. Lots and lots and lots of chops by Charlotte, and a neck breaker and a boot. Nikki distracts on the outside. Boot for Nikki. Spear by Charlotte on Brie Bella. Figure 8, and Charlotte gets the win. Obviously. Let's be real for a second. I love NXT. I have an immense respect for what Triple H has created with NXT. But the NXT marks have got to have WWE running scared. Nobody that's not from NXT is going to win a match in the next, 6 months. I got told off, actually, on Twitter by the British Fist saying, oh, we should have a title match at SummerSlam. And it's like, okay, Naomi's useless. Tamina's useless. Paige, I would love to see in another title match, but people complain that we've seen it too much. So that leaves the new girls, who have been here. They're fantastic, but they've been here for a cup of coffee. And if they weren't from NXT, you wouldn't be saying throw a belt on them. Really, seriously, no. Hashtag NXT hypocrisy. Moving on. In the back, Triple H is trying to deal with the Lesnar-Undertaker issue, and Miz keeps bugging him, talks about how bad it was that Big Show came out and punched him in the face, unprovoked, at Battleground last night. So Triple H sets up Miz versus the Big Show tonight. Primetime Players versus the Matadors is a match I don't care about, so I didn't take notes. Titus owns at the end, and basically throws around the Matadors like ragdolls. New Day comes out on the rampway, doing their typical positive promo thing. That causes a distraction. Backbreaker or backstabber, whatever you want to call it, by one of the Matadors gets an upset win for the Matadors, which means once again they're going to try and make the Matadors a thing, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Miz versus the Big Show is also... Miz bails to start the match. Slam by Big Show twice. Boots by the Miz and a shoulder tackle by Big Show. Chops in the corner by Show in a kitchen sink. Show picks up Miz by his face for a slam. Second rope elbow drop by the Big Show, and Big Show gets the win. Show talks some bullshit about Ryback. It's relatively bleh, somewhat entertaining if you want to be really, really forgiving, and it's really, really outsounded by the feed me more chants from the crowd. Heyman arrives in the back, says Lesnar is not here. He just wants to deliver Lesnar's response to the WWE universe, and then he'll get out of there, and there'll be no muss, no fuss. Stephanie says, I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, and Triple H says, yeah, and that's not far. Fucking right. As we come back from break, Stephanie and Triple H try to rally the rest of the roster together, telling them how important SummerSlam is, how important maintaining the main event is, and that they need them all to pitch in and keep these two guys from killing each other. And just as it's trying to seem like a really teamwork roster feel-good moment, Triple H has to stick in there the authority bit where it's like, we're not really asking you, we're telling you. Heyman... I almost knocked down the Doomy clipboard of doom, guys. When was the last time that happened? Oh, but wait, just about every vid. Brock should be champion. Rollins didn't beat Lesnar. Rollins didn't submit Lesnar. Rollins didn't pin Lesnar. Rollins didn't kick out of the F5, etc., 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 because of the resurrected Undertaker. And in case you've forgotten, my client, Brock Lesnar, conquered the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. The Undertaker is a sore loser, and he's waited 469 days to get his revenge. Why wouldn't we brag about it? Why wouldn't... And this is where I say Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman aren't heels anymore. Why wouldn't you brag about it? Of course we bragged about it. Look at all the people that went and tried to beat the streak, and he rhymes off Orton, Edge, Triple H, Snuka, Jake the Snake, Triple H, Mark Henry... You know, Roddy down the line. We succeeded where they all failed. We stole the streak, and that's why Undertaker stole the title. And he says, because you want to make it personal, I'm going to make it personal. My client, Brock Lesnar, conquered your undefeated streak at WrestleMania. You can sell your soul to the devil, but your ass belongs to Brock Lesnar. Taker comes out. And threatens Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman does his great little bit in the corner. I'm just an advocate. What are you doing? I'm just an advocate. It's great. Lesnar comes out. They brawl and brawl and brawl, and Triple H comes out and they brawl. And security comes out, and the pull-apart fails incredibly because the security guards are like this big compared to Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. Superstar pull-apart fails multiple times while the crowd is screaming, let them fight, and this is awesome. The one thing you hear very clearly from Brock Lesnar to Undertaker, Brock Lesnar and then Undertaker responds is, I'm gonna kill you. Well, you're gonna have to, which is great. And then we go to commercial break when we think they're finally pulled apart, and then they go to the back. They're still pulling them apart in the back. There's a couple good things. Eventually, Lesnar gets his hands zip-tie cuffed and pulled away by police. But there's two good things in this, because there's at one point in the brawl where Lesnar's on the floor, and he looks like he's basically hugging Bo Dallas. And there's another point where they've sort of got them pulled away, and Lesnar's sort of in his own space, and the one that's trying to talk sense to him is R-Truth, and that makes me smile, legitimately. It's good. It's just... It does... I haven't said a lot, because, okay, they brawled and then they got pulled apart, but it's a really big... I hate to make a TNA reference, but if you remember when Kurt Angle debuted in TNA, and immediately there was that moment between him and Samoa Joe, sort of like, I think TNA called it the headbutt that shaked the company or something like that, and they were pulled apart for quite a while. This is WWE's exaggerated version of that, because you brought out the security, and then that didn't work, and then you brought out all the superstars of the roster that you've basically guilt-tripped into helping you save your main event, and that didn't work, and then you've got the police, and then you've got this and that, and then you've got cuffs, and just these two guys are hollering at each other. Where Undertaker was very, very much the demon, the deep voice, and I'm gonna take you to hell, and all this sort of thing, in his opening promo, when they're brawling, they're just two guys that hate each other, screaming at each other. And that change in the span of about an hour is kind of a cool thing to see. Going from that, because we haven't had enough promos, we have Wyatt in the back cutting a promo with Luke Harper. Says, I am never alone. My family is always by my side because they know that I am more than a man. I am more than flesh and blood. I am an enigma. As a Jeff Hardy fan, I'm kind of offended by that one. You all chose Roman Reigns, and now you're all going to burn for it. Tonight, we continue to fix the mistake. And just remember, Roman. Anybody but you. Roman Reigns and Luke versus Luke Harper in a match that was way, way better, I think, than it deserved to be. Because you got the presumed numbers advantage of Wyatt and Harper versus Roman. But Roman's got his buddy Dean Ambrose. And this is where I say, I don't sit here on a video as if I'm telling the WWE what to do very often. I tell you guys what I would like to see. But what I am saying right now, under the delusion that anybody from WWE actually watches my videos, which I know I'm not Deluxe Man. I don't sit here thinking that WWE actually watches my vids. But just on the off chance that they do, book it now. Wyatt, Harper versus Ambrose, Reigns. It makes sense. The history is there. They're two good teams. You know, Rollins is off doing other things and Rowan is injured. Just do the tag match. I know there's rumors. Of throwing Sting into the mix and somebody else getting some other partner on the other side. Don't do it. Just don't. If you want to do Sting versus Wyatt, do it next year at WrestleMania. And yes, I'm saying Sting versus Wyatt because no, we're not going to do Undertaker versus Sting. And as much as I would like to see it, on the same reason I don't. I've told you guys 100 times. Excuse me. Why I don't want to see Undertaker versus Sting, and I'll say it again here. We took a snapshot 15 years ago of what we thought Sting versus The Undertaker would look like during the Monday Night Wars. This is 15 years later. It's not going to measure up to that snapshot. We will be disappointed if they do that match, but Sting versus Wyatt has something to it there. But save that. Save that for WrestleMania. Do this tag team match here. It's good. Luke Harper and Roman Reigns with Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose on the outside. Hard, as you can predict, collar and elbow tie up to start. Booting uppercuts by Harper. Booting right hands and 10 corner punches by Roman Reigns. Clothesline by Roman and a mud hole stomp in the corner a la Stone Cold Steve Austin. A thrust in the throat by Harper looks really nasty, and friggin', let's be honest, Roman Reigns sells it well. Clothesline by Roman, a hard collar and elbow tie-up again that gets corner chops by Harper. Corner punches and a clothesline by Roman. Standing vertical suplex by Roman sends us into the first commercial break. Harper's riding a headlock when we come back because he's also a nice guy. He knows that we have busy days. There's other things going on in our lives other than wrestling, and we don't remember everything right off the top of our heads. So he says, hey guys, hey WWE Universe, in case you forgot that I'm a bad guy, here's your headlock. I think that's great. Also working the arm, because the story is that Roman Reigns messed up his arm from Battleground last night. That's selling, that's psychology, that's storytelling moving forward. It's all good, and it's all from Roman Reigns, who everybody had demonized as the next John Cena not too long ago, and I see a lot of people jumping on that wagon with me now, and I find it very, very amusing. Stomps and knees by Harper and a corner uppercut. Both men trade punches. Roman eats the ring post. Slingshot splash by Harper, and the commentators for the next little bit talk about how agile he is for a big man, which is true. I wish I had given a little bit of the credit to that to Roman as well, because he is as well. And a headlock. Again, just in case you forget, he's a bad guy. This is a thing. Trading punches and Harper is tossed out. Rights and uppercuts and clotheslines by Roman. Samoan drop, but Wyatt blocks the apron drop kick. But then Roman says, I'm just going to apron drop kick both of you. Wyatt pulls Roman out of the ring, and there's your disqualification. Ambrose hops in, all four men brawl. Harper basically throws Ambrose like a javelin over the guardrail not into the crowd, but into the empty space that they call the Timekeepers area. They double team Roman for a while. Ambrose comes back. Ambrose and Roman chase the heels out of the ring. They have that smile on their ramp like, haha, we're going to live to fight another day. The babyfaces stand tall in the ring. Your match is set right there. Just do it. Just do it. I don't care. I don't care if it was on purpose. I don't care if WWE fell into this by a happy accident, but just do it. You're not going to put a title on any of these guys anytime soon, which is kind of unfortunate, but just do it. Rollins is in the back. He says, hey, I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to say to Lesnar and The Undertaker. Did you really kick them out of the arena? And Triple H and Stephanie just shake their heads at him. He goes out to the ring. How does it feel to be wrong about Seth Rollins once again? He asks the crowd. You all bought into Heyman's bullshit. I saw you with your Suplex City shirts and signs. I saw you laughing when he took out my friends Joey and Jamie and Kane. There's no way. You all said there's no way that I could win alone. I don't care about Lesnar. I'm still the champion. I'm the most underappreciated champion in the history of this company, and you all disrespect me. I have faced every challenge since WrestleMania, and it doesn't matter how I got out of them. The ends justify the means, and I am the end-all, be-all of this industry. The Undertaker robbed me of a victory. So I'm going to fix that tonight. He calls Lillian Garcia into the ring, has her announce that Lesnar is the winner by disqualification, but remind the crowd that Seth Rollins is still your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And this is where everybody else on Twitter kind of had a heart attack. Cena comes out, says, Lillian, you and these people don't need any more of this crap, so I've decided that it's over. We both, Seth, we both became champs in the same night. Thanks for being an asshole champion, a bad champion, because you made that title useless and it made my title more prestigious. Your actions make my title more important. They shit talk back and forth for a while. I didn't write it all down, obviously. Seth calls out Cena's bullshit. He talks about how he pretends that it doesn't bother him that nobody likes him, and this and that. Cena calls him out and says that Rollins is a joke as a champion. And Rollins looks like he's going to fight him, takes his shirt off. Cena takes his shirt off. We see the nice flashy dog tags that remind us that John Cena is a G.I. Joe. And we plant the seeds for the terrifying idea of Rollins versus Cena, title versus title at SummerSlam. The only thing that makes me think that that's not going to happen and makes me still have some faith in the WWE is that they're doing far too much good stuff with Cena as the U.S. champion to do this. And there's so many other options that they could go with for an opponent for Rollins. You could literally pick out anybody and throw it for... I know it's not a thrown together pay-per-view. I know it's not a B pay-per-view. I know it's SummerSlam, and it should be important, but let's be honest, SummerSlam is going to be sold by Taker versus Lesnar. It's not going to be sold on the world title match, which gives you some leverage or some leeway. Or Seth Rollins could get himself involved in a multi-person match or something else. They could big up the remaining Wyatt family versus the remaining Shield tag team match. I wouldn't usually say something like this because I know that the pay-per-views should revolve around titles, but you could do a SummerSlam where the main focus isn't on the title. There's so many other options you could go there. We replay Stephanie introducing the Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha from last week from NXT, which I thought would have been cool if they had done it before the first match. But again, Sasha Banks and Naomi come out to take on the team that I've wanted to see since last week of Paige and Becky fucking Lynch. Oh yes. My only regret is that there isn't a disarmer in this match, which is sad. Sasha and Becky start off the match with a collar and elbow tie-up. Snapmare by Becky twice in an armbar. Naomi stomps a mud hole. Because it's Naomi, and a mud hole and a stomp is hard. Drop kicks and leg drops by Becky Lynch. Multiple drop kicks, multiple leg drops, and each one crisper and more beautiful than the last. Double headbutt by Paige and Becky on Sasha is good. Shoulder thrusts by Naomi, because they're hard. Fallaway slam by Sasha Banks on Paige. Knees by Paige. Boots by Becky. Both in the corner. Both in Sasha Banks' face. Distraction by Naomi, because being a distraction is hard, especially with the flashy shoes and the shirt that looks like it's badly made out of a bandana. And a slam by Sasha takes us into commercial break. Naomi slams Becky, because slams are hard, and hits a really botchy leg drop, because leg drops are hard. Naomi rides a shitty looking headlock that basically looks like she's giving her opponent a hug, because apparently headlocks are hard, and because Naomi's a bad guy. Yeah. Sasha saves us from all this mundane bullshit with a mud hole on Becky and a slap and a standing on Becky's hands, teasing the tag. Basically, she's between Becky and Paige. She's standing on Becky's hands and asking Becky why she's not tagging her partner. Psychologically, and as far as the shit-talking Sasha Banks that we all know and love, that is fucking fantastic. Double elbow by Naomi and Sasha, which is more so Sasha because Naomi's out of time. Oh, yes. Naomi and Becky trade punches for a while because punches are hard. Straight jacket choke and a backstabber by Sasha Banks. Rolling clotheslines by Paige, accompanied by a 10 knees in the corner and a super kick. PTO on Naomi is broken up by Sasha because Naomi really can't do anything. Banks statement gets the win for Sasha Banks and Naomi. So basically what I wrote on Twitter is what I absolutely believe. This match was cool because Sasha Banks dragged, kicking and screaming, the chocolate flying camel toe of death into a tag team victory that she had nothing to do with. Paige and Becky are a great team. I hope this goes on further. It's one of those things that makes me sad there's not a Divas tag team title, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But this was good, despite Naomi. Oh yes. We have an awkward segment in the back where Lana is giving us an update on Dolph Ziggler. His windpipe isn't broken or permanently damaged. He's finally started talking again. We're just waiting for him to be cleared, and he'll be back in the WWE. And then Lana is approached by Summer Rae, who's in a very Lana, skirt and jacket and the bun like Lana. She's a Lana double, which is basically what Rusev's been saying the whole time. And then he proceeds to make out with Summer Rae while staring at Lana. And it's all very, very, very creepy, if I'm honest. But that leads us to the main event, which is Cesaro, Orton, and Cena versus Sheamus, Rusev, and Owens. Now, guys, this was not a 5-star classic main event. It wasn't. But shoot me if you want. This was fun. It really, really was. Because it went from just being a clusterfuck 6-man, Teddy Long holla 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 special to something genuinely fun and light and just good. You can have fun. Not everything has to be Angle versus Benoit, and we don't even have to kill people in the process. It's good. There's a Rey Mysterio joke in there somewhere, but I'm pretty sure Preston would have a stroke if I said it. Oh, yes, Cena and Owens start, but that's only to tease us because there's a quick tag to Rusev. Cena rides a headlock because he's confused, and he hits a shoulder tackle, follow-away slam, and stomps by Rusev, mounted punches by Owens, and an STF by Cena. A very, very, very dirty DDT by Owens, but it's followed by a cannonball that misses. Cesaro hits a top rope splash on Sheamus. Cesaro backdrops Owens, and eats a super kick by Rusev as we go to commercial break. Sheamus rides a headlock on Cesaro because Sheamus is the king of nice guys. Sheamus is the king of WWE Universe. All my friends and all my fellas out there, in case you've forgotten. That's a horrible Irish accent, isn't it? In case you've forgotten, I'm a bad guy, and here's your headlock. Oh, yes. Cesaro boot to Owens, elbow to Rusev. Double axe handle by Sheamus. The heels triple team Cesaro. Uppercuts for Owens and Sheamus. Owens and Sheamus argue. I missed why they're arguing. I think one of them hit the other one or whatever. Owens and Sheamus argue. Sheamus bails. Rusev's down on the outside, so Owens is down on his own. Owens gets Rusev up on the apron. They argue. Hits a super kick to Rusev, and then Owens bails, leaving Rusev by himself. 2 clotheslines and a power slam by Orton on Rusev. An exploder suplex by Orton and a suspension DDT. Super kick by Rusev, but Lana comes out and starts a cat fight with Summer Rae. Attitude adjustment is great. But we didn't give Cena the win. It's one of those things where if you're not from NXT, you're not allowed to win a match. This is the thing. The Cesaro swing, but he doesn't turn it into the sharpshooter like you usually would think Cesaro would do. No, he stops the swing and catapults Rusev into an RKO for the win. Like I say, guys, there was a lot of botchiness. There was a lot of silliness in this match, to be fair. But this was a fun main event, and nobody really took themselves too seriously in this match. You could tell Cena and Orton and Cesaro were having... Cena and Orton were having fun. Cesaro got a chance to really get out there and show what he could do. We showed that the heels are so dastardly they don't even get along long enough to help each other, and everybody wins. Cena didn't get the pin. There's nothing to cry about. Everything else was good. Really, really, really good showcase of the Divas tonight. Really good showcase of the Roman and Wyatt feud that's going forward to SummerSlam. Obviously, the big talking point of the night is Undertaker versus Lesnar for SummerSlam, but we knew that at the end of Battleground. This was a great show, and this is going to be a great 5 or so weeks leading into SummerSlam. Now, what I will say is the next preview panel that I do with Kristen, Guapo, Suave, whoever else decides to hop on for the ride, is it's going to be a double preview panel. So in about 5 weeks, expect quite a long video, because the same weekend as SummerSlam is the Sunday. On the Saturday, I believe in the same venue, but please correct me down in the box below if I'm wrong, because it's been known to happen. I believe it's in the same building. The Saturday before SummerSlam, we're getting the NXT Takeover. There we go. NXT Takeover Brooklyn is in the Barclays Center, which is where I believe SummerSlam is happening as well. Like I say, main point is that we're getting 2 pay-per-views in a row, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, which is pretty cool. I said it in the preview panel for Battleground. I think it's very cool that we're getting out of the NXT arena, that we're getting out of the idea of their pay-per-views just being a longer Wednesday night episode, because it's going to give it that bigger feeling. It's going to have a bigger crowd, and I think they're really going to show what they can do in front of a larger crowd. I mean, if you want a prime example of that, look what Owens does in front of a larger crowd. Look what the girls that just came up do in front of a larger crowd. I think you get somebody like a Finn Balor. I don't know about Sami Zayn's not going to be there because he's, fucked for a while. Maybe Hideo, maybe Tyler Breeze. Baron Corbin, although it's not cool to like Baron Corbin, I know that, in front of a larger stage, in front of something that actually looks like a proper branded pay-per-view. I think it's going to be fantastic. I think it's going to make for one tremendous, and I'm not exaggerating this, and I'm not really trying to be cliche, it's going to make for a fantastic weekend of wrestling, and it's really exciting, and we got 5 weeks to look forward to that. I mean, NXT obviously has been building for a while because they don't do pay-per-views as often, but yeah, combining SummerSlam, combining this revamped idea of the NXT pay-per-view with SummerSlam, which they're really giving the WrestleMania treatment to this year, I think it's gonna be something really special. And that, you know, call me sentimental, call me whatever. As a wrestling fan, I think that whole weekend is going to be really special. Anyways, this was a great Raw. I hope you guys agree with me. I hope you guys, I'm not going to tell you what to like, what not to like. Again, I'm not other people I could mention, but I really hope that at least some of my excitement is infectious to you, or I really hope you're excited enough on your own. That's about it. I'm out of here. I'm starting to lose my voice. My sinuses are fucked like usual, and it is exactly ridiculous o'clock in the morning. So I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, I'm tagging out. P.S. You got about 5 more days to get me questions for the next Q&A. Tagging out, guys. Bye.